Okay, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and this is my third video today. I'm like a video junkie, but I can't help it because it is so beautiful out, and I've been able to jump on my trusty new steed there, which I really haven't had a chance to check out. I haven't had a good around the farm motorcycle in a long time. The one I was using gave me a lot of problems, maintenance problems, and it was way too big. It was a 600. This is a 250, and it's perfect. The only thing I don't like about it is I have to kick it to start it, but it's working out okay, so it's okay. And that's a great advantage, honestly. It is a great advantage if you have a little bit of acreage, because you need to get out there and look at things. And the problem is time. Like, I would love to just walk the perimeter of this place. Well, I don't know if I'd love to walk it. Did enough walking when I was in the service. No, I'd rather just cruise it on my motorcycle. When I cruise it on a snowmobile, you can't really see much. But now is the time when you start getting excited, because you know that spring, eventually it's going to come. It's going to be February here in a couple days, but you know it's coming. I mean, this is just like a window that we can look into the spring, and you get excited. And not everybody does, but I think if you do, I think the reason is because human beings were designed to survive. And when you're doing something that is going to enhance your survival chances, it's fun and it's exciting, and I don't know, you get thrilled to do it. So I've just been cruising around today. You know, I've been doing some fencing. I've been looking at the animals closely, doing some bedding. Kids are down on the pond right now, skating. And we're going to bring some of our Mangalitsa bratwurst down there to the pond and cook them over that fire that I was making. And so I'm just taking a little time to look around and do a little planning for the spring. And I came across something that I did years ago, and I got the idea from Joel Salatin. I've read quite a few of his books, and I've actually met him. He's a great guy, and he has some great information if you are going to be embarking on this endeavor of farming, getting your farming on. He's a good guy to listen to what he's got to say about it. He's a big advocate of just do it, just do something, just do it, and you'll find your way as you're going. You don't have to have a checklist to go through. But one of the things he said in one of the books, I don't even remember which one it was he was talking about what he called a riparian area. And what that is leaving some of your border or some of your area that you're operating in alone. Just leave it alone. And this is my east fence line. Okay, so on the other side of this riparian area is a hay field, and that's maintained by some neighbors. And they do spray a lot of stuff on it, and they do spray a lot of manure on it. And it's nice when they do it and the wind's going the other way, because for about 3 days you can't sleep with the windows open. It's so bad. But in between us, we have this area here. See, there's some trees up there, and then there's this is an anchor tree is what this is. That's a whole story in itself. But we have one here, and we have another one way out there. And those are the trees that were probably about 10 inches across that they hooked winches to winch out all the stumps that were here. This place was covered with Norway pines 100 years ago, and they were farming around the stumps for a long time, and then they started pulling them out as the stumps became less stout in the ground. That's what these trees are. And they're really great shade trees and stuff. A lot of the huge farms just get rid of them because they don't want fences or anything. They just want to be able to run huge machinery through. But the riparian area, what it's done for me, okay? What I have found is this type of farm, you know, where we have a bunch of different types of animals here, a bunch of different types of plants going, different things that we take care of and different things that take care of us. The wildlife plays a crucial role in that. Because our bacterium that's in the soil is wildlife, you know. We don't put them in. Sometimes we pad the deck with, you know, with biochar and things like that makes it easier for them to survive. But mostly, I don't even know the names of the bacteria that's in my soil. I just know that they're there, and there's a whole bunch of different types. And how does that work? Well, in nature, like the area that I just was for the last video is over there by that other pig field. When we put pigs on there and they cleared it out, then the deer said, oh, let's go in there, because there's young grasses that are coming up that are supple and we can eat those and they're good. And also, when the deer are in with the pigs, they feel secure because we are not in with the pigs. And the deer want to be places where we are not. Most of the time, the deer don't like to come and be around us. And so when the deer are in there, then the mallard ducks say, hey, that looks like a good place. So the mallard ducks come down on the pond, and sometimes there'll be 50 ducks on that pond. And when those ducks come in, you know, they're swimming around in the water, they're mating, they're doing all their thing. They're eating a lot of the grasses. They're also depositing manure into that water. And the manure is coming from the food that they're digesting, that they're getting out on Lake Misaki, or, you know, at these primitive lakes that are all around here. So they're bringing bacteria in, and they're enhancing the, you know, the flora and fauna. They're adding to it, and then the pigs drink that water, and then they manure it out on the field, and then, you know, so on and so on. I mean, if you think about it, the wildlife brings in lots and lots of things that we can utilize. You know, I said before, providing habitat for the animals. Well, in the pastured business, that's what we're doing. A pasture is not just a dirt pen. That's not really habitat for much of anything. But if we do it in such a way that things can grow and the wildlife will want to come in, we're creating kind of a little Garden of Eden type thing for the animals to grow on. And as they grow, the soil grows, and as the soil grows, the plant life grows, and so on and so on. So we don't really need to add anything to it in the way of fossil fuels. Talking to a guy on the phone this morning, and he said, this is pretty profound for a new guy. He's only been farming for a short period of time. And he says, it seems like Americans are hung up on the sunlight that hit the earth 1,000,000 years ago. I thought about that. We're hung up on harvesting sunlight that came down a long time ago. And I said to him, hey, I'm going to steal that. That's profound, really, when you think about it. This sunlight creates this vegetation, and I guess that's where oil comes from that's in the ground, you know, the dinosaurs and all that stuff that broke down over the years. I'm not sure if that's true. That could be made up too. A lot of stuff in science is made up. It doesn't even make sense, but it had to come from someplace, and probably the source of it was the sun. But we have the sun coming down right now. And if we can learn how to absorb that, it's free, and it will make a lot of wealth for us if we just learn how to use it. The riparian area, though, is what I was talking about. You know, we're not just clearing it fence line to fence line and planting nothing but one crop. We've got a lot of crops that are growing here. Let's see, where am I? Oh, 942, can't go over 10, I'm close. And it does us a lot of good. The birds come in, the voles come in, the mice. I don't have coyotes coming up in the yard because they hunt the fence line. They don't bother my chickens because they have plenty of mice to eat. They're designed to eat mice and things like that. Coyotes don't attack, you know, dogs and all that stuff like they say. They try to make them sound like they're some sort of vicious creatures. You know what? They sing out in the woods at night and they don't do anything to us. But if we kill them all off, we're going to get overrun with mice. They're there for a reason. So I think what we want to do is we want to maintain a balance in this ecosystem that we call our farm. And that means giving a little. So 10 feet of property line, I'm not going to cut hay off of. It's just going to grow brambles and trees. And up there, actually got some nice pines. I don't know if somebody planted those. Probably did years ago. And down this way, well, it's all just bulrushes and brambles, and there's some Russian olive in there. Ooh, Russian. You know, and I don't do anything with it, but it's a nice buffer between me and the guy next door that does a lot of his thing. So that's it, the riparian area, good thing. Remember, anyone can farm. Time to get your farming on. Get excited about the spring. It's coming. Mark Baker's Green Acres.